Hi everyone, I'm Chris. You might know me on the forums as El Cristo, and there's a lot of rumour and opinions flying about the forums that people are taking as true facts, and I want to try and dispel the information and rumours that keep appearing on the forums with this video. Now, with the latest announcements, I'm going to be focusing on the Collector's Edition, the pre-order bonuses and the cash shop that has been talked about recently. I'm going to be stating facts, and at least what I believe to be the latest official statements from ZeniMax regarding some of these issues. I'll maybe throw in my opinion on some things, but again, this isn't about anyone's opinion really, it's more about what's true and what's false. Of course, I feel that I should mention that when I say something is true, I mean it's the official word ZeniMax has put out, and not based on anyone's opinions. Again, I hope this video serves as a kind of fact and fiction resource for the lead up to the release of the game, or at least the open beta, and help new members of the forums grasp what is fact and what is rumour. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to start off with the Collector's Edition. Now, what you get with the Collector's Edition, again, I'm going to state the facts, so I'm just going to quickly run over what is printed on the official Elder Scrolls Online website. The exclusive collection of digital content includes play as an Imperial and play in any race, gain unique bonuses, crafting styles, gear and more. Imperial White Horse, summon this exclusive Imperial mount and journey through Tamriel with increased speed. The Mudcrab Vanity Pet, explore Tamriel with this exclusive Vanity Pet scuttling by your side. The Rings of Mara, complete the Ritual of Mara with a friend and recover an experience bonus when you play together. Now, if you pre-order the game, you get the Explorers Pack along with it, and the Explorers Pack comes with 5 days early access to the game, play any race in any alliance, the Scuttler Vanity Pet, and bonus treasure maps. Now, originally, the controversial things were the play as an Imperial, play any race in any alliance, the Imperial White Horse, Rings of Mara and bonus treasure maps were also talked about quite a bit, but they've been thrown to the side because the most talked about items right now is play as any race in any alliance and play as an Imperial. I'll just quickly go over the minor controversial things. The bonus treasure maps were seen as maybe a pay to win bonus in a sense, because, you know, by the wording of it, your bundle of bonus treasure maps will lead you to hidden chests full of loot. That implies that as soon as you log into the game, there's items there waiting for you which might give you a bonus, a boost over other players, but in the long run I can't see it being a big advantage. The Imperial White Horse, just by the wording of the summon this exclusive Imperial mount and journey through Tamriel with increased speed, people thought that this White Horse would be faster than all other horses, but when I originally read that, I just took that to mean that the horse was faster than running on foot. But the latest Ask Us Anything variety pack puts the argument to rest. One of the questions on it was, does the Imperial Horse have better stats than other horses in the game? And the answer was just simply no. It's got stats are identical to the stats of other horses in the game, so there's no advantage there really. The Rings of Mara were a bit controversial because, you know, if you pay a little bit more you get an experience boost, which a lot of people were happy about, but a lot of people were also sort of upset about because it implies again another sort of pay to win scheme where if you pay a little bit more money you get an advantage over other players, and no matter how you look at it, the Rings of Mara are a bonus. They are an advantage. Now, the most controversial subjects were the play as an Imperial. People are saying that this is pay to win because the Imperials have a unique racial skill line, which has been confirmed on the latest Ask Us Anything. The question on the Ask Us Anything was, do people who order the Imperial Edition gain a big gameplay advantage over those who don't? The answer was no, but there's a long answer and I'm going to I'll quickly go over the answer and then I'll sort of nitpick at certain sentences in it. The answer was no. With the Imperial Edition you get the opportunity to play as a rogue Imperial who has broken from their Daedra worshipping ways, and you get a unique racial skill line of equal gameplay impact to other races' unique racial skill lines. As an Imperial you also get a mount and automatic ability to craft items into the Imperial style. All non-Imperial races can also learn this ability after locating this corresponding racial motive. Imperials do not begin the game in a unique starting location or via a separate quest, but they can start in any alliance as befits their status as unaligned outcasts of their own province. Being an Imperial includes a racial skill line that offers unique gameplay opportunities, but there is not an overall gameplay advantage. It is an opportunity to set yourself visually apart in the lands of Tamriel. Gameplay benefits within this edition have been designed to avoid bestowing unfair advantages over players who do not purchase this special edition. This is cool content designed for some of our biggest fans who wish to have something different from the other collector's editions in the market. The only other alternative would have been to offer a collector's edition that offers no in-game items whatsoever. That simply didn't seem fair to fans who are excited about the game and want some special digital items. Now that second last sentence, the only other alternative would have been to offer a collector's edition that offers no in-game items whatsoever. That is quite ridiculous, because there's a lot of things you can offer. A special hat, titles, we know titles are in the game, you know, like if my character's name's Chris, it could be King Chris or Chris the Hero or whatever. But to say that if you couldn't offer the Imperial skills or the Imperial race as an exclusive, there would be no exclusives, that is a bit of a stretch. Now, earlier in the answer, as an Imperial you also get a mount. When I first read that I thought in order to get the Imperial White Horse you had to roll an Imperial character, but later on in the Ask Us Anything it says if you purchase the Imperial Edition all your characters will have access to the Imperial Horse. So that's that dispelled. Now, sort of in the middle of the answer it says, being an Imperial includes a racial skill line that offers unique gameplay opportunities. Then goes on to say, but there is not an overall gameplay advantage. Now that is interesting. It is sort of a matter of opinion what you consider to be advantages. It's a matter of opinion if you take that to mean pay to win or a pay gate. It depends on the racial abilities, in my opinion, if it's a pay to win. I would say it was definitely a pay gate in a sense, because racial skills are not just cosmetic. For example, the Khajiit ratios, we know what the Khajiit ratios are. And one of the Khajiit ratios is robust, increases health regeneration while in combat by 5%. That is a pretty good ratio. That is not cosmetic, that is pure content, or you know, it's not cosmetic. Another Khajiit ratio is called Carnage, increases critical rating for melee attacks by 10 and damage done by successful critical hits by a certain percentage. Now that's saying that Khajiit, those two racial abilities are making Khajiit perhaps the best race to be a melee DPS character. It gets a bonus for critical damage and it gets a bonus for regenerating health, which, you know, no matter how you look at that, that's going to make the Khajiits pretty good in both PvE and PvP. So, you know, if the Imperial race has ratios similar to this, or even like the Dunmer, we know a couple of the Dunmer ones, which is, there's one called Dynamic, increases maximum magicka and stamina by 5%. That can be applied to both melee and mages or sorcerers. Now, if the Imperials, if their ratios are similar in style to that, where they've got increased damage over bows or whatever, which they probably won't, going by the history of Elder Scrolls games, the Imperials ratios are probably going to be neutral ones. You know, I might expect one of them to be something along the lines of when you sell to an NPC, you might get more money. You know, if I was to sell an iron bar to an NPC, I might get 10 gold, but if an Imperial race sells the same iron bar to an NPC, they might get 11 gold or 15 gold or something like that, because, you know, they've always had, what was it called again, like Diplomat was one of their sort of specific ratios, which increased their dialogue with NPCs. They were better at persuading them and stuff, I'm pretty sure. So again, I wouldn't necessarily say it was pay to win, but I would say that it was perhaps a pay gate in a sense, because again, it's content that we're not getting access to unless you pay more. Now, I want to go on to the play as any race in any alliance topic. This is controversial just simply because up until now we have believed that you're stuck with your faction, and the developers have been trying to sort of encourage you to gain faction pride. I mean, a month ago, they released an item on their store, a limited edition faction pride lithographs, which featured an image of the respective leaders. And again, they're limited edition and they're saying get excited for your faction. So they were you know, they're trying to encourage faction pride, and then they do something like this, which a lot of people are upset about. A lot of people are happy about, because people have wanted this since day one. And I would say that these are neither a pay to win or a pay gate, because there's no content advantage, really. We've already known for quite a while that if you create a Nord and you complete all the Ebonheart Pact's quests and areas, you will be able to go onto the Daggerfall Covenant and do all that area, and go to the Eldmeri Dominion and do all that area. So there's no content, there's no exclusive content there, and there's no exclusive content, there's no exclusive items. It's not pay to win, it's not a pay gate. People are just upset about that because I don't actually really know why they're upset, because well, I suppose I was actually upset about that originally, but again, this is a pre-purchase bonus, meaning that only people who pre-order this game are going to get that. And in the long run, I plan on playing this game for at least a year, maybe. I would expect to play this for more than a year, talk with the developers talking about how much content is actually in the game. I expect to play this for longer than a year. How many people, you know, in a year's time are still going to be playing this game that actually originally pre-purchased it and are taking advantage of this play as any race in any alliance? And there are even some polls on the forums talking and asking people, are you going to stay loyal to your faction? And a lot of them, you know, a lot of the responses was yes, they're going to stay loyal, but the people on these forums are dedicated to the game and don't necessarily represent a true look at how people are going to play this game, because, you know, closer to the launch of the game, there's going to be more advertisements, it's going to bring in more customers, and they're not, let's face it, a lot of them are not going to be really concerned about lore or how other people are going to be affected or how other people are going to feel with their choices. They're just going to play with their friends and play as they want. So, you know, it's not really a big issue. Now, the cash shop. This is a big one. A lot of people are extremely upset at the thought that there is a cash shop in this game that they're going to be paying a subscription to. But I'll save the facts for last, actually. People's argument that there is 100% definitely fact going to be a cash shop is on the Elder Scrolls support, frequently asked questions, knowledge database. Now, if you go on there and you search, can I upgrade to the Digital Imperial Edition? The answer to this has made people think that there's an in-game cash shop, or maybe not in-game, but there's a cash shop where you can buy bonuses to your characters in your game. Now, the answer to this question, can I upgrade to the Digital Imperial Edition? The answer is, starting April 4th, 2014, which is the launch, all customers who pre-purchased the Digital Standard Edition can upgrade to the Digital Imperial Edition by visiting the Elder Scrolls Online store. This will allow them to receive the exclusive collection of in-game rewards available from the Digital Imperial Edition. This upgrade service will be available from April 4th, 2014. If players have purchased a physical copy of the Standard Edition but wish to upgrade to the Digital Imperial Edition, our upgrade service is there to help you do so. Now, the simple phrase, by visiting the Elder Scrolls Online store, people have went crazy over this. And you can upgrade to the Digital Imperial Edition after launch. People are still going crazy about this, and I feel that it's necessary to point out there's no need to, and I don't think there's any need to. I think people are getting just simply mixed up by the Imperial Edition and the pre-order bonuses. The Imperial Edition isn't exclusive to pre-orders. By that I mean, after the game is launched, you can still buy the Imperial Edition, and this isn't unique to the Elder Scrolls Online. Every game still sells the Collector's Edition of the game after the launch. So saying that there's an Elder Scrolls Online store where you can upgrade to the Digital Imperial Edition proves that there's a cash store that offers you to purchase items that are going to benefit you in the game is just ridiculous. Now, the Elder's Online store, yes, they're going to have a store. Pretty much every game in the last 10 years has had a website dedicated to the game where you can buy the game. That's what the Elder Scrolls Online store is going to be, a place where you can go and buy the game. And if you buy the Standard Edition and you want to upgrade to the Imperial Edition, you can pay $20 more, to upgrade it. They're not saying that if you just want the Imperial race you have to pay $20 more. If you pay that $20 more, you're not just going to get the Imperial race, you're going to get the other bonuses of the Imperial Edition. Now, what can you expect from this store? Again, I think it's just going to be a store where you can buy the game. I don't think it's going to be as extreme as, let's say, the EverQuest 2 store, where I'm not entirely sure, it's something like the more you pay, the more skill lines or the more skill tiers unlock for you and your characters. And the less sort of evil cash shop is the one that World of Warcraft has right now. Not the one that they're planning to release soon, but the one they have right now where you can buy vanity pets and mounts, special mounts that just look different. They're not any faster or anything, and specific armour that is only cosmetic. There's no actual bonuses to the armour. The World of Warcraft store also offers game services, which I believe that the Elder Scrolls Online store is going to have. For example, the World of Warcraft one has character transfer, where you can move one character from one realm, one server to another. And we know that even though Elder Scrolls Online is going to have the Megaserver technology where everyone plays together, there is going to be a North American Megaserver and there's going to be a European Megaserver. And even though if you buy the US version of the game, you can still play on the EU servers, but if you make a character on the EU servers, you cannot access that character on the North American servers. So maybe the Elder Scrolls Online store will offer a paid service where you can transfer that character from the EU store to the North American stores. Maybe. That is my theory. There is also in the World of Warcraft game services, there's faction change, race change, guild services, name changes, appearance changes. These are the kind of items that I suspect Elder Scrolls Online store will have. And to back up my theory, these are the official statements from ZeniMax Online Studios regarding Cash Shop. Now, the only two examples that I could find where the game developers actually mentioned the Cash Shop was they were both within about 2 or 3 weeks of each other. Now, the first one was by Matt Firor, who is, I believe, is the game director. He said at Gamescom, which was late August 2013, this was his quote when asked about a game store and the option to buy bonus points in the game. His response was, "There won't be anything like bonus points, but we'll have a shop to buy kind of fun stuff and services too, like name changes and things like that. Anything in the core game is included in the subscription." Now, there won't be anything like bonus points, okay, but we'll have a shop to buy kind of fun stuff. That could be vanity items. Now, a couple of weeks after Matt Firor said these things, the creative director Paul Sage was in an interview on the Elder Scrolls Off the Record podcast over at the Quest Gaming Network, and he says something along the lines of what Matt was talking about are things like, can I pay for a name change, or can I pay to do things that can't naturally be done through the course of the game. And he says that they want the game you get to be the full game experience, but there are other things like service things and things that you won't naturally be able to get in the game that you might want to do. Like he says, can I pay for a name change, or like the ones I came up with about changing faction or race or server. And to Paul Sage's knowledge, there is no cash shop in the game. He actually says this. There will be a link in the description with the sort of time code, so you can actually go to that podcast and hear it from his own words. And the cash shop that Matt Firor said was just sort of off the cuff and not meant to be what everyone's taking it as, and what they're offering are just services. So, the latest official statement from ZeniMax Online Studios is there is no cash shop. And there is, to be honest, there is I wouldn't say there was any other evidence to say that there is a cash shop other than this, the Elder Scrolls Online store that was said in this response to can I upgrade to the Digital Imperial Edition. And again, I don't think that's anything to worry about right now. I think that is just, again, a store on the website where you can buy the game. Now that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. That seems to be everything that I've got written down right now. Again, just wanted to quickly go over the Explorers Pack is what you get because you pre-order the game, and the Collector's Edition you can buy whenever. You can buy it before the game comes out or after the game comes out. Just because you can buy it after the game comes out does not prove that there's a cash store. Now, one of the latest videos was Lawrence Schick unboxing the Retail Imperial Edition, and he says there's a limited number of those. The book, the map, the Molag Bal statue, which is made from a high quality resin, if anyone was curious. That was also in the Ask Us Anything. Also, another question was, can an Imperial switch alliances whenever? As an Imperial character, you can choose any of your 3 alliances to pledge your allegiance to. Once created, this character will be dedicated to that alliance. You cannot switch. So, again, there isn't that much evidence saying that there's going to be a cash shop. The official latest statement says that there is no cash shop, and the collector's edition can be purchased before or after launch. Anyway, this is the end of the video now. If you have any information that disproves something that I've said, then please leave it in the comments and I'll add it as an annotation to the video, because the purpose of this video is to provide accurate information and I don't want to be spreading misinformation myself. So please, again, if I'm wrong on something, please tell me. I've quite enjoyed making this video actually, and I think I'm going to continue making more Elder Scrolls videos, so if you want to subscribe and watch future videos, that would be great. If there is new information, or if there is already information out there that I've missed disproving a lot of the stuff I've said, then I'll either correct this video or just make a new video completely with the new information. So, see you next time.